So the past weekend, Terminator Dark Fate opened in North America, and it's already underperforming. And it's kind of a shame because the movie's not bad; it's just not brilliant. And a time at the moment, other than Maleficent and the Joker, you've really not got much out there box office wise. Okay, you've got Zombieland 2 still, and I know next week that. In the States, Doctor Sleep is opening. Really can't see that film making much of an impact on a film like, it's like what Terminator Dark Fate should have done. You know, the underperforming thing, people are going to band around sequel fatigue, franchise fatigue, which has been going around for some time. If anything underperforms, it's been a sequel or a reboot. It's just franchise fatigue. They said it with Dark Fate. They said it with Men in Black, just to name two. And, for me, I think the thing why, there's a few reasons why I think that Dark Fate is underperforming. Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines, okay, other than the ending, was pretty mixed. Salvation, mediocre at best. Genesis tried, but not brilliant. And, those ones I just mentioned, they're completely erasing from their timeline so that Dark Fate's just sequel to T2. Now, the thing is, Dark Fate feels like a sequel to T2, and it also feels, in terms of visuals and stylistically, it feels like a sequel to the other Terminator films, which they're not counting. And people are kind of bored of the Terminator movies, I think. For me, the first one was terrifying. It was fantastic. Second one was watered down. It was groundbreaking for its time and visually stunning, with the T-1000. And Dark Fate feels too much of more of the same. It took elements from the first Terminator. There's a little bit of a twist in Dark Fate, which I saw telegraphed too early on. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's great to see Linda Hamilton and Arnold Schwarzenegger back in decent roles. But for me, what made the first Terminator fantastic was Arnold Schwarzenegger's T-800, the T-101, or whatever the name that he was. He was a great, terrifying Terminator. And if he stayed or brought him back as a relentless Terminator rather than a good guy Terminator, that would have worked better for me. The terror aspect. I mean, Gabriel Luna, make sure I get the names right on this one. He was a good, very Robert Patrick. Diego Luna. No, I will get it right. I will get this right. This is I'm doing one take. I don't want to get the names mixed up because I know I did it in one of the other ones. So it's yeah, the new like I said, the new Terminator. He's good. He is, and he's actually good in it. And it did have the element of Robert Patrick, but the problem is it had the same elements of Robert Patrick, which didn't actually work for me. It felt so much like a rehash of T2. Gabriel Luna, yeah, he's good, and I loved him as the Ghost Rider, but it does seem too much of a rehash of Terminator 2, and that's the problem. I mean, we want to see the war against the machines. That's one thing that they've only ever touched on. Terminator movie where Judgment Day is in full effect. Boom, that's the movie. I mean, like they teased it in the last few, but to actually, and they've teased it since the first Terminator. So to have a post-apocalyptic Terminator would have worked perfectly. Gotta go to the John Connor arc in Dark Fate. I can't say I'm not happy with it. I can't say I'm happy with it, but it just that doesn't work for me, to be honest with you. And even the arcs in it, I mean, like I said, they're great within the confines of the story. But to me, I just see people are tired of the whole Terminator thing. I mean, if they want to try and go the TV route, which I know they did with the Sarah Connor Chronicles, which I never watched. But, I know they're setting it up for possible sequels, a new trilogy, which we're doing with Genesis. I will go see these films. It's like with the Spider-Man films pre-MCU. always go and see all these, and all the Batman films, even though there have been a few that I don't not particularly fond of. I will always go and see those because I like the characters, and I hope that they will strike gold again. And so that's why I go see certain movies. I will go see these Terminator films and hope that one day I'll see one on the big screen that I truly enjoyed as much as I enjoyed the first Terminator movie. But right now, they need a break. They need to do a solid reboot, start from maybe just remake the original. They keep the suspense up from the original, post-apocalyptic, and that's what's missing. They needed to go with the hard R with it, something solid, something dark, rather than using it, which was very much like a family film. The Dark Fate was. So, like I said, they got a banner of franchise fatigue and sequel fatigue. So, which to me, this is not. And the trailers could have been better as well. There was nothing that engaging that would make me, if I was one of these people that doesn't go to the cinema that much, it would make me want to go out and go, yes, I really want to see this movie. And well, that's really all I can say about this one. That's been my opinion as to why it's been failed. I mean, I really do hope someday that they do it. And with James Cameron back and Tim Story doing the direction of the movie, I really hope for something special. It just wasn't that good. But like I said, you can see all my straight after title film review, which is on in the Geek Room. But not surprised of the underperforming, and that's just been my opinion on why it's been underperformed. See you all in another In the Geek Room video. I'm Stevie W.